Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about manifestation, and I'm going to give you one of the most life-changing manifestation techniques, and I feel like it's super underrated. Like, people really just don't talk about this enough, but if you do this, like, I promise, like, your whole entire life will change. And this is especially potent or like important for people like if you're the type of person you find yourself like you're doing a bunch of affirmations, you're doing sats at night, you're doing a lot of visualization, and you still feel like, oh my God, I don't know why I'm not manifesting. This is most likely why, and it's because you're focusing too much on getting the thing. For example, if you're focusing too much on losing weight or like getting the money or getting the iPhone or getting the business, and you're not focusing enough on becoming the person who can like lose weight, who can have that successful business, have their dream life. Like, you have to start focusing on your identity, because your identity will shape all of your belief systems and it will shape who you are as a person. Like, honestly, it's the single most important thing that you have in your life is just changing and shifting your identity. Because if you are trying to manifest love, but internally you have the identity of a person that guys don't like, they're never picked, they're never chosen, how are you possibly going to handle or hold being in a relationship? Like, every single time you visualize, you're gonna feel like it's so fake. You can do a million affirmations, but it's still gonna feel fake, and it's not gonna feel connected or authentic to you. But the thing is, when you start shifting your identity, instead of the thing being outside of yourself, it becomes, there's a sense of belonging with it. Because if I shift my identity and I start thinking of myself as the type of person who is always finds love, is lucky in love, guys love, is always chosen, then it's going to feel natural and normal for me to be in a relationship. So it's way less work than just trying to manifest being in a relationship. It's the same thing with anything. With losing weight, I recently just did this. I used to have the identity of like being super not fit. Like, I used to be like chubby as a kid. I used to do all these things as a kid, and now I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm like, I feel like I can't lose weight. And I was visualizing and I was doing affirmations and I was trying to go to the gym, but it was never a consistent habit for me. But then all of a sudden I realized, okay, it's because my identity is off. You cannot hold something if your internal belief systems don't match that frequency. And losing weight just felt like it was just so outside of myself. It was so unattainable, like it was on a pedestal. And I feel like a lot of people, if they're stuck in manifestations, is because their desires are on a pedestal. It seems otherworldly, it seems so abnormal, it seems really outside of themselves. So that's why it just isn't manifesting, because it doesn't feel natural and normal. And as soon as I started just talking in my head and shifting my identity into a person who loves to go to the gym, who's an athlete, who's super fit, who loves to eat healthy, guess what happened? First of all, the weight dropped like so freaking fast, but also I started showing up as that person. Like, I literally started changing. Like, when I changed how I viewed myself, I literally started going to the gym every single day. I started to enjoy it. I started to like eating healthy. I started to like doing all these things, and all of my manifestations just caught up on me, and I lost a lot of weight. So it's the same thing with whatever you're trying to manifest. Like, you need to just shift your identity and focus your attention on that, because everything else, once you shift your identity, will end up falling in place. Because once you have the identity of a businesswoman or a YouTuber or a grad student, whatever you want, it's just going to feel natural and normal for that thing to exist. So here's how to actually start to shift your identity. What you have to do is you have to start thinking, if I'm a person, okay, think about your desire and think about what kind of person would have that desire. Like, what would they be thinking? What are their belief systems? And start just repeating that in your head. You don't need to write anything down, but just for like a few days, a few weeks. For example, I always used to want to, like I said, like lose weight. But I always had the identity of someone who just was really not fit, and I was chubby when I was younger, like, and I always had the identity that I'm just not athletic at all. And then I started to question myself, and I started saying, is that actually true? and it's not. I'm good at some sports. It just wasn't, I wasn't cultivated when I was younger. So throughout my day, I would just start telling myself, like, I'm an athlete. I'm the kind of person who loves to wake up early and work out. I'm the kind of person who loves to eat healthy. I'm the kind of person who's just so athletic and so fit. I'm such a gym girl. And I kept on repeating that over and over and over and over again. And at first, yeah, you will feel like you're lying to yourself, but eventually it just kind of catches up to you and you really start to believe what you're saying to yourself, which is why it's your words are spells. Like, it's so powerful what you say to yourself. I just said that for maybe like 2-3 weeks, and eventually I started showing up every single day to the gym, and the weight literally just like left my body. So that's what you have to start thinking of is, how can I become the type of person who has that business? How can I be that person who loses a lot of weight? How can I be that person who is in grad school or whatever you're trying to do, and start telling yourself that I'm the kind of person who can make $100,000. I'm the kind of person who can build a successful business. I'm the kind of person who can be a content creator. I'm the kind of person who can be successful. Like, start focusing on your identity and traits and say that I'm the kind of person who does this. I'm the kind of person that good things happen to. I'm the kind of person whose life is so easy. I'm the kind of person who's effortlessly successful. I'm the kind of person who is so good in school. I always get accepted into the schools that I want. Like, start identifying with the person who can hold the thing. Like, really take your attention away from your actual desire and focus on inhabiting and becoming the person who can hold it. I watched a video once of a YouTuber, I think her name is Rita, and she said, instead of holding the iPhone and like wanting to manifest, instead of trying to manifest an iPhone, focus on manifesting the person who's holding the iPhone. And that's exactly what is the most powerful thing, is focus on manifesting the kind of person who can hold that business, who can be a businesswoman, who can be an athlete, who can be all these different things. And that's when your identity shifts and your external reality will also just shift so dramatically. And this isn't also just important for manifestations, but it's important in life and how you show up. Like, if you have if you're trying to be like, if you're into self-development, I'm sure like you've tried to do a bunch of habits, have good habits, wake up early. And most people, like, around New Year's, within 1 month, they drop their New Year's goals and they just go on. And it's because they are focusing on external circumstances. They're focusing on their desires, they're focusing on habits, but they're not changing themselves. And that's the most important thing that you can possibly change in yourself. So if you're the type of person who has all these goals and they're not manifesting, I would say take a look at your self-concept, take a look at your identity, and start shifting that. And the reason why I brought up habits is because habits is a surface level thing. Your desire is a surface level thing, but life is all about becoming. So if you're struggling with showing up for yourself in your goals and manifesting and your habits, then if you change your identity, your habits are going to come naturally, because you're starting to identify as a person who likes to eat healthy. Then it's going to be effortless for you to start to eat healthy. It's the same thing with your desires. If you identify yourself as a person who can make a lot of money, it's going to be effortless and natural for you to make a lot of money. So it's the same thing. Like, everything stems from your identity and your self-concept. And I think we just spend so much time trying to instill good habits, trying to do affirmations, trying to visualize. And that's like 5% of the work. Like, 95% of the work and the things that will actually change your life is just changing how you think about yourself, how you view yourself, and your identity. Because I effortlessly started to go to the gym and have these quote unquote good habits that people spend years trying to install, because I just started identifying with a person who likes the gym and who likes to work out. It's the same thing when you're trying to manifest love or a relationship or money. Like, if you just start identifying with a person who can make a lot of money, who's a successful business owner, who's a content creator, who's a successful grad student, who's happily married and in love, or the girl that every guy wants, who's always chosen, then it's going to be natural. Because I feel like that's why a lot of reasons why our manifestations just don't come in. There's some sort of resistance or in authenticity, or your desire, your pedestal's kind of on a desire because it seems so out of reach. But the second that you normalize something, it becomes in reach, it becomes normal, and then your brain is just going to manifest it for you. Your subconscious mind is going to allow it because it's just so normalized for you at that point that it just happens. It's like the effortless way to manifest. Like, instead of putting so many hours, so many minutes, like doing all these other things, and you can still visualize, like, I'm not saying it's not important, but the most important thing is like changing how you view yourself and changing your identity. And once you do that, I swear to God, like, your manifestations will come. You'll become the person that you always wanted. You'll have all your dream habits like installed in you, and it literally just comes from changing your identity. And the only thing you have to do is just start repeating, I'm the kind of person who does this. I'm the kind of person that good things happen to. I'm this type of person, and you're golden. That's it. Yes, you will feel like you're lying to yourself in the beginning, but keep going and keep affirming these positive affirmations about your identity, and then you're going to believe it and you're going to start showing up as it. So, I hope this helped, and happy manifesting. Bye.